loves, welcome back, or welcome to a brand new video. It's the end of another month, which means it's time to pick out my TBR. I haven't actually done a TBR video for a while now. I think it's been about 2 months, but I thought as we're entering fall/autumn that I wanted to do a TBR video because I have some reads that I wanted to think about reading, but I just didn't know because I have such a huge TBR, especially when it comes to fall and autumn time. I've got a lot of fantasy books I want to get to and thriller books I want to get to that I don't usually read during like summertime or springtime, and I'm just so excited for the next few months of reading. So we have some really fun picks. Sorry guys, I'm sorry if the lighting's really bad. The sun keeps coming in and out and it's reflected in my room really weirdly, so I'm sorry if you can't really see me. And I think me wearing black is also not helpful, but anyways, what I was saying is I'm really excited to pick out my September TBR, and for this round I decided to get my Instagram followers to help me pick my TBR. So I'm really excited to see which books they pick. So what I did is, again, as I've done before, I just put a poll up. I put 2 books, but I covered the books and I put emojis that kind of correspond to the book. Some of them are a bit random, the emojis, because I couldn't think about how to put them for certain books. But I just like put the poll up and got people to pick what book I should read based on the emojis, and then we're gonna go through them today and then see which people have picked, and I'm really excited. So in terms of the books we have in total, I think I have 6 polls I did, or 5 polls. I think it's 5 polls, so 10 books, and they're a mixture of stuff. So I have predominantly fantasy and black romance. So I have, in terms of romance, they're all black romance that I had on my choice and options. Then we have 2 thriller books, and then we have 4 fantasy reads. And if you guys could guess some of the books or the fantasy ones, I would love to know what you guys thought they were before you see them in this video later on. But I'm just really excited to go over and pick out my September TBR, see what books I will be reading. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and it's just a fun way of picking my TBR out. I love getting you guys involved. If you guys want to get more involved in picking my TBRs, I definitely recommend going and following my Instagram. And if you're new to this channel and haven't been here before, like, welcome. If you do like this video, make sure you give it a like and subscribe. I'd love you guys to join us. We're nearly at 1k, and I'm just thankful for every single one of you guys. And even if you don't subscribe, hopefully you go watch some of my other videos and maybe that will sway you. But I hope you guys are okay. Let's get to it and let's pick out my September TBR. So first up, we have obviously different polls. So we're going to get the first poll up. So the first poll was this yellow poll. For this poll, we actually had 2 options. So the first option, you saw a little horse, some books, and a sunset kind of photo thing, and that is for The Neighbor Favor by Christina Forrest. I've never heard of this author at all, but I saw this cover, thought it was beautiful, and I had to get it. And then number 2, we have Getting Schooled by Christina, again another Christina C. Jones, and this is part of her Wright Brothers series, and this one belongs to the one that has like the teacher, the moody face, and the smiley happy face. That's supposed to be enemies to lovers, if you guys couldn't guess. I don't know, it was a bit hard to try and pick, but that is the second option. And then yeah, so this was for the first poll, and the winner was, let's go see. So the first one got 41% and the second book got 59%. So that means the winner of this round was Getting Schooled by Christina C. Jones. I'm really excited to read this book. 1, because it's fairly short, well, really short, and 2, I love a good enemies to lovers, and I think this is going to be a really good book. I am a bit gutted that I didn't get The Neighbor Favor because I'm really excited and wanted to read that, but we might get in October, and you never know, I might end up still reading it, you never know. So first up we have Getting Schooled, which will be book number 1 on my September TBR. Now we're going to go on to book number 2. So the 2 options we had, the first one was A Basketball, I Love Heart, and A Black Woman, and that was for Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan. This is a basketball romance. I think this is a, I don't know if she's a teacher or works in like a corporate job, but and I'm so excited for it. I'm excited to start this series in general. Since I read Before I Let Go, I've just been obsessed with her books and I just want to keep reading them, and this book is definitely high up on my TBR because I want to read this so much. So hopefully, I don't know if it's been picked. And then obviously pick number 2, which belonged to the little, I would say that's a to-do list, that's what I was going for. And then it was supposed to be an angry face X, a smiley face, which was supposed to be Grumpy X Sunshine. And that belongs to Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. Again, this is another book that I'm like to read, and this is a plus size representation, interracial relationship. I think this is going to be so fun. I love a good Grumpy X Sunshine, and I think it's just going to be so fun to read. So we have really good contenders. I would be happy with either one that I get. So now that's going to go and look at the polls. So in terms of the polls, book number 1 got 43% and book number 2 got 57%. So that means the winner of this round is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. So this will be book number 2 on my September TBR. I'm really excited to read this one. I've heard great things about this author, and this series is actually part of a series. I think they're 3 sisters. So I'm really excited to delve into the world of Talia Hibbert and see what her books are like, because I've never read anything from her. So I'm intrigued. Obviously, Long Shot could be picked next month, and again, it's a book that I'm really interested in, so you never know, I might end up reading it in September anyways. Next up, we're gonna pick poll number 3. So poll number 3 was a mystery poll, and that was the only mystery poll that I did because I just don't have many mysteries in general. So the 2 options were The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden. This is the second book to The Housemaid. And then next up we have Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is the second book in the Natural series. And in terms of the polls, so the one that had the murder one, like the knife, the detective, and then a child was this one because it's supposed to be like a YA Criminal Minds, and I love it. The first book was so fun, so easy to read, and so fast paced. And then the other one was, it's supposed to be like cleaning, and then like a broom, and then because it's a secret, and it's supposed to be like Housemaid's Secret. I don't know if it, like, people got that, but yeah, that was that one. So in terms of the polls, 68% voted for the first book and 32% voted for the second book, which means the winner of this round is Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is the second book in the Natural series, and I am so freaking excited to read this book. This is why it's been so high up on my TBR since I finished the Natural series. If you guys want to see my review of this book, well, the first book in this series, go and watch my Getting Out of My Book Slump video. It is really fun and it was really enjoyable, and if you're currently in a book slump and you need motivation, some tips and tricks, I definitely recommend watching that video. And I also had a book rec video coming later this month, so stay tuned for that. Housemaid's Secret is the book that I won't be reading, but again, I could end up reading it this month, or I might save it for October, because obviously October is spooky season, so I'll definitely be trying to read more thriller and mystery. So book number 3 will be Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Now we're gonna go on to book number 4. So book number 4 was the start of fantasy. So book number 1 is a battery, someone fighting, and someone wearing a crown on their head. So that book was for no other than Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I put that because I think he's supposed to be a prince, and then I put the fighting one because I know she enters some tournament, or she's forced into a tournament, and then I did a power button because it's powerless. And yeah, I'm excited to read this one if it does get picked. I've heard great things about this book. I've seen that Fairy Loot have coming out with a special edition, so I want to get this book read, hopefully before sales come out for that, so I can decide if I want to get it or not. And next up we have the second option, which is Throne of Glass. This one obviously matching the crown, the sword, and then a wine glass. That's what I did, and I tried to find like throne, but it didn't do that, so that was the closest thing that I could find that kind of related to the book. So Throne of Glass is the first book in the Throne of Glass series. I know there's loads of different ways to read this book. I decided to read Throne of Glass first and then Assassin's Blade. I'm either going to read it third or fourth. I can't remember what people said, but I think I should read this one first. People said it's more of an emotional impact to read this one first and then Assassin's Blade a bit later on. But let me know what you guys think, when I should read Assassin's Blade or if I've made the right decision. And yeah, I'm really excited to read this. I miss Sarah J Maas's writing. Like, I love ACOTAR, and I know this is a very daunting series, but I've heard so many great things about it. It's a series that I've been wanting to read since I finished ACOTAR, and I'm really excited for the prospect of reading it this month. So that was book option number 2 for the poll. And now looking at the polls, book number 1 got 19% and book number 2 got 81%. So that won by a landslide, and that was no other than Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. That means book number 4 will be Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. I am so excited. It is Throne of Glass. I've been waiting to read this, to get into a story, into the world again, and I'm just excited for some fantasy. Like, I just love fantasy. It doesn't even need to have much romance. I'm just want to be part of a world again, be part of like a family of people that I love. And I know this is going to be an emotional journey for me, and I'm planning to do like a reading vlog on my journey of reading the whole series. So it'll be a very long video that I'll be filming. It might take months, but I'm excited to begin my journey on the Throne of Glass series. So if you guys want to see that journey, I definitely recommend subscribing if this is your cup of tea. But book number 4 will be Throne of Glass. Now we're going to the last but not least final poll, book number 5. So looking at the poll, so book number 5 belonged to, so the first book was a dove, it was fighting, and then some type of scroll. So for that one, I decided to give that for Divine Rivals. I did that because a dove, kind of like divine, because of like heaven and that. And then I did rivals because someone like fighting, like rivals against each other. And then I did like a scroll thing because I think there's like some type of mystery, and also there's like letters and that. So that was me kind of just like being strategic. I don't know if it really reflected the book as well. But this I'm really excited to read. I've heard great things about Alexa Ray, which is one of my favourite YouTubers ever. If you guys haven't heard of her, she always raves about this series, and this is a YA fantasy, I believe, but I'm so excited to get into this. I feel like I'm really going to enjoy it, and look how beautiful this hardback is. So this is going to be a good contender. And then book number 2, I'm really excited to talk about this one. So I did an eye, some fire, and some water, and that is for Imagine Me by Taya Mafi. So this is the last book in the Shatter Me series. I did an eye because there's an eye in the photo. I did water. What did I do the water for? I think I did it for tears or something like that, like crying. And then fire because she has the power that she burns people, like her touch burns them, basically they die. So I did fire for that. I don't know if that really makes sense, but I'm really excited to read this book, or maybe read this book. I've been waiting to finish this series for a while now. I'm sad to say goodbye to my favorite characters, but I'm excited for a new journey, and this ain't going to be a sad one. I know I'm gonna love this book, and I know it's gonna be a one of a hell of a ride to end the series, but I'm excited to maybe read this one. Now we're going to go look at the polls. So in terms of the polls for that one, book number 1 got 50%. Oh, and book number 2 got 50%. So actually, both these books scored the same score, so they both got 50%, which means both of these books will be going on to my TBR, because obviously both of them were picked, and looking at the votes are exactly the same, so I have no choice but to add it. But I'm not sad to say that. So book number 5, or should we say 5 and 6, are these two. So we have Imagine Me, and then we have Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I completely forgot to mention that, but both solid reads. Really excited, and I'm just really excited for all the fantasy we're gonna have. That is all of my books. We're gonna show you guys them all together, and I'm just so excited. These feel like really fun reads, and I can't wait to make some fun reading vlogs reading these books, and to give my first impressions, because a lot of these are going to be the start of a brand new series, and I'm really excited for it. So I hope you guys enjoyed picking out my September TBR with me. Are you excited for your September TBR? Do you have a TBR for September, or do you just kind of wing it? I know some months I like to wing it, some months I like to have more of a structured one. I feel like in summer I like to wing it, but winter time I love to have a structure, because I feel like I read more in winter anyway because I'm just like at home and I just love cozy season. Really excited about all the books that I'll hopefully read in September. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like and a subscribe. I hope you guys are okay, your week is okay, and yeah, that is it for today. Stay blessed everyone, and as I always say, I love you guys and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye my loves.
Creo que estoy enamorada porque cuando veo cosas muy bonitas